Hello there, Taurus. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast for the week of May 8th through the 14th. What we have coming up for you on Monday, Taurus, is the Ten of Coins. Yay! This is one of the better cards to get. This does talk about financial, material, stability, something that makes you feel stable. It can talk about emotional stability as well because the coins do talk about energy of all kinds, but they tend to focus on financial more strongly than anything else. But they certainly don't leave the other types of energy out either. And so when we have a 10, we're talking about the ending of one phase and moving on to the next phase, the beginning of the next phase. So when you've got a 10 of coins, we're talking about some kind of phase that has to do with your sense of security here in the material world, whether we're looking at relationship, whether we're looking at financial. So this can be a card that talks about taking a relationship to the next level. This can also be a card that says you got a promotion or you got a raise. This can be a card that says you upgraded your vehicle, you upgraded your cell phone, you've added on to your home. You've put a built-in swimming pool in the yard. You've brought home a baby and added to your family. This can be a lot of different things. However you feel secure, whatever makes you feel secure, your amount of that thing that makes you feel secure, whatever that might be, is being increased on Monday, one way or the other. And you'll have to be alert and aware as to what that may be, since there are so many people watching. It's not like I'm getting an individual story here. And of course, you guys know if you want an individual reading to look at your own individual energy, all you have to do is use the information on my website to contact me. But first, check me out. Make sure I'm the best reader for you. Okay, let's move on to Tuesday. Three of Clubs showing up in reverse. Three of clubs, three of clubs, three of clubs in reverse. I'm just feeling like there's some kind of delay coming in here. There's some sort of project that a lot of you Tauruses are working on. And there's just some kind of delay coming in on Tuesday where I don't feel like things have come to a complete halt, but they're just moving forward very slowly. It's kind of like all of a sudden you're trying to drag a wagon through a pit of molasses or something, where before you were just pulling it down the sidewalk and it was going merrily. Now things are a little stickier, they're a little slower, they're a little heavier. So just expect some kind of delay. It doesn't feel like it's something that you can't work your way through as far as figuring out how to make things move forward again, but just something coming up that's going to hamper progress a little bit. It doesn't feel like it's going to shut anything down completely, just something that you're going to have to work through. Let's see about Wednesday. Four of Clubs shows up in reverse for your Wednesday, Taurus. Four of Clubs in reverse just means somebody leaving the deck. It could be you. Could be you. But it doesn't have to be. This could be somebody in your sphere of influence just as easily as it could be you. But this is somebody who is leaving the nest. I said leaving the deck earlier, didn't I? I don't know how that's going to play out for somebody, but leaving the duck. There are ducks on ships, so maybe for some of you that are watching, if you're in the Navy or in Merchant Marines or whatever, it may be that one of your good friends is going to be leaving the ship. But normally, what I see with this is somebody leaving the nest. They are moving on to a different place, maybe moving out of mom and dad's house. For sometimes in a couples reading, this can come up as a separation that's coming up. This can be somebody going out of town on business and they miss each other, or this could be a separation where things aren't going so well in the relationship and they decide to separate. Usually when I see this card come up as a Four of Clubs in reverse, if we're talking about that kind of separation, for those of you who are watching this Taurus that it might apply to in that way, what I can tell you is that this is more of a temporary separation. This is not going to be something permanent, no matter what it seems like whenever it first happens. When we've got the Four of Clubs as the separation, that's something that is just going to be probably a couple of weeks at the most for most of you. who that applies to. But it doesn't apply to most of you in relationships, although I think there is a handful. For a lot of you, this is just somebody leaving your work area and moving on to some other place. For a few of you, this is going to be somebody in the family moving away, but my heaviest energy really has to do with around work and the work area. Workspace. Somebody leaving, moving on. All right, let's look at Thursday, Taurus. Thursday. What you have here is the Nine of Cups upright. This just tells me that on Thursday you have something worth celebrating, and you are celebrating it with at least one other person, maybe even a group. Or you may be helping somebody else celebrate something. You may be a participant of their celebration. I feel like for most of you, though, this is something that you're celebrating. You may be celebrating it as part of a team or part of a group. So it may be a group of you celebrating that, you know, you've done this thing, this achievement together. But yeah, I really feel like for the most of you, you're actually celebrating something, whether you're part of a group or whether it's as an individual, and other people are celebrating with you. So enough repeating myself on that card. Let's look at Friday. Five of Coins showing up in reverse. Five of Coins in reverse, Five of Coins in reverse, Five of Coins in reverse. Whew, 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 whew. Okay. This is not for the majority of you. This is the minority. In fact, this may be one person. Somebody is going to be realizing that they are either a mistress, or I don't know, what would you call a guy if he's in that situation? A mister? A mistress or a mister in a situation. In other words, you may be realizing that you're a third party. And I feel like for those of you that this applies to, and there's not very many of you, one or two at the most, I feel like you did not know. I feel like you had no idea. So when you find out, I feel like this is going to be a shock, and it might be a little bit of an overwhelming type of experience when you find out. So the good news is, like I said, I think this actually only applies to one or two people, not to the majority for sure. Now, the other way that this card comes in, and the way it comes in actually for most of you, is that your budget is loosening up a little bit. So maybe you made a final payment on your mortgage or on your vehicle or whatever. Or maybe you got a raise or a promotion at work, although this feels more like you have paid something off, and so now your budget has a little bit more breathing room. So for the most of you, I would say that is really how this card is coming in. There's very few that are going to be finding out that they're a third party. But it did come up, so I think anything that comes up, I try to share with you guys just in the essence of my belief is Sacred Spirit is the one who gives me these messages, whether I'm looking at cards or not, whenever they come in. And I also believe that if I expect Sacred Spirit to continue to give me messages, I have to have the integrity to pass them along to you. So even though sometimes the messages are not pretty or very feel good, if Sacred Spirit is bringing it through, I trust that there's a reason that somebody needs to know or hear that. And I just feel like I'm obligated to do that for Sacred Spirit to trust me with more messages. So, yeah, I don't candy coat. I don't candy coat because I like reading and I want to continue to read. And I feel like if I candy coat things, Sacred Spirit may not trust me with new messages, and then I would have to find a whole new way of making my living. Not about to do that. So I hope you guys can appreciate the absolute honesty that comes through here. I know not everybody can receive that so well, but that's the way it is. Let's look at Saturday. At least that's the way it is with me. Saturday we do have the Ace of Swords showing up. Ace of Swords, what I'm hearing is beginning of new things. Swords has a lot to do with truth, with ideas, with thoughts, with words. I do think that there is, for most of you Taurus, I think actually what this is not so much a new thing or a new idea or a new thought, but a new way of doing things that you haven't done before. So for some of you, this could be a lifestyle change to help you do something like lose weight or monitor your sugar better or whatever. For others of you, this could be something that falls more in the financial realm, like you have a new way of handling your budget, you have a new way of handling your expenses. So that you create more security for you financially for yourself. This could also be a new way of handling relationships. If you have spent your life basically being a doormat, you could be handling relationships in a new way. You could be setting boundaries and actually enforcing them. This could really be anything, but the strongest impression I'm getting is that this is a new way of doing things that's showing up for you on Saturday. So there's something that's about to change in how you handle it on Saturday, Taurus. Look at Sunday. Let's look at Sunday. I like this card, by the way. You guys got the Magician. Drum roll, cymbal clash. The Magician is a fabulous card, and it is a fabulous card because it reminds us that we can manifest anything that we want to if we decide to. And you are on Sunday. You're taking those things that you have and you're making them into what you want. You're moving forward. You're making progress. You're expanding on Sunday. Okay? So that is your week, Taurus. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by, for hanging out, for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. I do appreciate all of your support. I hope to see some of you here this week for readings, some of you here this week for Reiki sessions, and the rest of you I will see back on the next video. Peace out.